Tusculum College with the Tusculum University. Old habits die hard.
That's all right.
With the victory over LMU by the final score of 71-62, and now joined by Pioneer head coach Meagan Price. And Coach, I said in the first half, at some point you just kind of had to weather the storm because LMU shoots 66% from three. You can't buy one from outside, and it was just one of those basketball games. They jump out to an 11-point lead, and the way the two teams shot in the first half and played, I made the comment, if Tusculum can just cut it to single digits going into the locker room, you'd have to feel good about the first half with the way you played, and that's exactly what you did.
Right, and I said the same thing, and I know they were going to play hard, but then you look at stats, and they were 10 for 15 from the three, and I'm thinking, there's no way. And so we made some adjustments defensively because we don't normally ball pressure a lot. But I said, okay, today I really want to ball pressure, at halftime, let's ball pressure, get up in them a little bit, guard the ball screen different. And we just adjusted so well, like, it gives me chills because I'm so proud of how well the kids adjusted.
Maggie Jackenzik with 14 first-half points. She was 4 for 4 from three. She'd only played one game since Christmas, and this is a young lady who goes out with a tough injury, but even before that, you held her scoreless in the third quarter. What adjustment did you make to slow her down?
But one of the things we did was we just switched, and we said, you know what, we're going to switch everything at this point, and then we'll come back to it if it doesn't work for us. You know, because Jay got caught one time underneath, but we got the rebound, so it ended up not hurting us a lot because we were just, normally you don't see teams make 10 threes in the first, half. And so for us to have to make an adjustment, like one thing about me, I don't like to make adjustments a lot. So I said, okay, after Anderson, I'm going to learn as a coach too and say, all right, we're going to come out, we're going to ball pressure, which we never do, and we're just going to do some things different. But I thought Maddie just did a great job snatching rebounds, guarding her everything. I thought she did phenomenal.
And then the tides turned. The three started falling for you, Jayla Arnwine, with 5 second-half three-pointers, 4 of which came in that third quarter. You turn a 9-point deficit completely around going into that fourth quarter. You started getting hot from three, and then all of a sudden Maddie Sutton went to work underneath.
I go back to, like, Jay and Maddie. Those kids, they're just built different. Like, they are just, energy, getting to the rim, whatever we can get out of them, whatever I need out of them, that's what they give us. And so it's so cool as a coach, even when they're coming to the timeout. We got a little down after Anderson, and so we come back to that, and I always talk about it, but we used it as such a learning tool. Like, those two coming to timeouts, like, hey, we're good, and then talking about, hey, well, this is how they're playing me, this is how they're playing me. Like, I want them to have those voices, and I'm telling you, I don't know how else to say it, but those kids are just built different.
The first half, let's go back to that. Kirsten Click was the bright spot in the first half and really kept you in the basketball game.
She did, yeah.
While everyone else was cold shooting. She was 2 for 2 from three. Yeah. And Kirsten's one of those players that she spent time in and out of the walking boot all season long, but the healthier she's gotten, the more minutes she's gotten.
Yeah.
And you pretty much played her the entire second half, and she earned those minutes.
And, I go back, I'm like, if you make shots, you're going to play. Like, that's what I tell her, because she's great for us defensively. She's always in the right spot. She's always in help side. She knows how to guard the ball. She probably has the scouting report memorized to a T. And so, she was a little down after she kept getting injured and having to be back in the boot. And I said, I'm telling you, at some point, you're going to come in and make big shots for us again. And you're going to be right back to where you were before. And I was so proud of her for stepping up, because Maya wasn't great tonight. And that's not a secret. But at the same time, I know Maya's going to bounce back from that too, but Kay just came in and gave us what we needed. She gave us that energy, and it goes back to, like, she just made shots. And it gives us somebody else in that rotation. Instead of having 2 or 3 guards, now you've got 3 and 4.
And I think your team showed up in a big way, in a big spot tonight. This was a pivotal game, your last home game of the regular season before you go on the road for the last 2. On the road to Coker, and then a huge matchup against UVA Wise that's right behind you in the standings, and it would be easy for the Pioneers to look ahead.
Right.
Home game in front of a crowd for only the second time this season on senior night against their former head coach.
Yeah.
They put all that aside and played a great second half.
They really did, and, it goes back to, we were talking about this before the game, and I try to use some of this as motivation. We have 2 good losses, a double overtime loss to Carson Newman, and then we have a loss to Anderson, which we didn't shoot it well. But it goes back to Carson Newman has 1 loss. Had we beat Carson Newman in that double overtime, we wouldn't have learned as much. But also I tell them, like, that is the caliber team you are. Even though they're 11 and we're only receiving votes in the nation, we should be up there with them. And you need to use that as motivation because LMU beats them. And we beat LMU and sweep them for the year. And I said, so that looks good. And the ratings don't matter. But it's also publicity for our group, and they've just worked so hard that I just want them to be up there because they deserve it.
Coach, congratulations on the win. And unfortunately, we won't be with you on the road at Coker, but we'll see you again against UVA Wise.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Head coach Meagan Price, her comments in her victory over LMU here today. Again, the final score, Tusculum 71, LMU 62. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.